up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, hello. If you're new here, my name is Angela. I make videos about law school, lawyer life, and all things in between. Today's video is going to be for my lawyers. I haven't done a video for you guys in a while. It's been all about the law students, particularly the 1Ls, because y'all know they just started school. But today's video is going to be for my lawyers, or really just young professionals in general. As some of you may or may not know, my husband and I welcomed a baby boy here almost 3 months ago, well, 2.5 months ago. And I've been on maternity leave this whole time. I'm a practicing attorney. I have been practicing in private practice in large law firms for a majority of my career. I was a mergers and acquisitions attorney, and then probably about it's gonna be almost a year at this point. I would say like about 9 months ago, I transitioned to an in-house corporate role. So yeah, I'm a transactional lawyer and a new mom, a super proud new mom. I'll leave a picture of baby boy here because I'm just that mom. And so I wanted to do a video about how I prepared to take maternity leave. I was very thoughtful in preparing to do so, particularly because I was a new employee at my company. And so I wanted to leave a really good impression with my leader because I knew I was the newest person on the team, and it's just my personality. I wanted to leave a good impression with the company. They were really happy for me and accommodating. So I wanted to make sure that I did things right as I prepared to go on and went on maternity leave. And also I just wanted to make sure I was maximizing my options too, so I could, be there with my son. So the first thing I did was research my leave options. So I looked at FMLA statutes for my state. I looked at short-term disability. I looked at my company's employee handbook and what was offered. And I just looked at all the options to kind of get an idea of how much time I would have, what the pay would look like, all of those things, to really just understand for myself what my options were. Once I understood what those options were, I drafted up a plan to present to my leader about what my maternity leave would look like and what I will be doing to transition my work up until that time. So that plan consisted of everything from my due date, my cell phone number, my personal email, because I wouldn't be on my work email or phone in case anybody needs to contact me, which they haven't. But in case of that, I also put a list of all the matters that I was working on, who I was working on them with, who I planned to leave them to and transition them to if they didn't get completed by the time I went on maternity leave. I wrote a plan of what things would look like and how things would go in the ideal situation while I was out on maternity leave. I'll leave an example of a sample of the plan. I kind of Googled and found things online. There were some really good resources, but I can leave a link to the one I created for myself. The next thing I did was schedule a meeting with my leader, and I did this so I could present to her the plan that I created, as well as get her feedback on that plan and update it and supplement it for any suggestions that she may have. I thought this was important so that my leader would know that I was thinking about, my role in the company and on our team, and that I cared, and that I was going to do everything in my power to make the transition as seamless as possible. Also, as the leader of our group, she's the person in the best position to know what our group needs are, who things should be transitioned to, and just how to make everything flow best. So I thought that was a really good idea, and I think she really appreciated it as well. So once I presented that plan to her, got any feedback she had, the next thing I did was create a chart. A work tracker chart, because mind you, I'm still working at this point. I'm pregnant, I'm in my 3rd trimester, but I'm still working at this point, or document ID numbers for those projects. So if something happened, if I had an emergency with my pregnancy and I unexpectedly had to leave work that day, they would know exactly where the project stood, who was working on the project, any information about the project, and where the documentation for that project was on our global system. So I thought that was really great. And one thing about this tracker is it wasn't just a one-time document, right? I updated this tracker almost daily. I updated this tracker at minimum daily, and sometimes multiple times a day, just based on me completing things. Now, along with that tracker, you guys, I made a commitment to try to complete as many of my ongoing tasks as I could before transitioning. And I actually was able to do that. There was just one task that I didn't fully get done, but it was actually done, just needed, you know, some things. But I worked diligently to get things turned around quickly. I didn't stop taking assignments. I just worked really quickly and efficiently to get things done so that I wasn't leaving a bunch of things on other people's plates. As I got closer to my due date, I reached out to the other members on my team, letting them know, you know, kind of the status of things and that I would be on leave soon. I also reached out to other business partners within the company that I work with and let them know as well, and kept them updated on the status of the projects, as well as I reached out to members on my team just to be a backup in case I needed it, just so they'd be on standby in case of an emergency with my pregnancy. I wanted to make sure somebody on my team could help our business partners see our projects through. Next thing I did was initiated the leave process with HR and completed all the paperwork. So like I mentioned, I had already done the research on what my options were, but obviously I wanted HR to confirm that and give me more information. So I called HR, let them know about my pregnancy, and initiated the paperwork to get the maternity leave process started. It's going to be different for every company, but I did that paperwork and initiated that process and completed all the paperwork as soon as I was assigned it, just so I can get the ball rolling and be ready to go in case of an emergency with baby boy. I did do this a little bit earlier on in the process, so I was in my second trimester when I did this. I basically initiated the process with HR as soon as I talked to my leaders and let them know about the pregnancy. I wanted to give them the grace of letting them know first before talking to HR. As soon as I told them, I went ahead and initiated the process with HR. Once I got all that paperwork done and I got my decision letter about my leave, I called HR and had them walk me through my explanation of benefits, ask any clarifying questions and then closer to my date of delivery, I just reconfirmed all that just to make sure everything was in place before I went on leave. Last thing I did was, when I actually did have my baby, I emailed HR to let them know the baby was born, and let them know that my leave was officially starting and everything they need to know to get the, you know, all the paperwork completed on their end. And yeah, that was it. And I was on maternity leave ever since then. I'm actually going to be heading back to work here soon. One thing that I suggest you do, I did this about 2 weeks before going back to work. I emailed my leader, letting her know, you know, just kind of reconfirming the date that I was coming back, reaching out to schedule a meeting with her to basically get reacclimated to the team after being out for several months. You know, there could be changes within the company, or you just kind of want to get caught up. Basically confirming with your leader or your boss that you are coming back, because I know that sometimes some people don't, but that you're coming back, the date you're coming back, and scheduling a meeting with them to kind of get up to date and caught up to speed on what's been going on while you're gone and how to best integrate back into your workload. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. I just thought this video might be helpful for anybody. If you're like me, you want to utilize all your benefits, but you also want to do things right with your company, just to show them, you know, that you're a committed employee. Especially for me, I was a very new employee, so, you know, people might not know you and your work ethic and, you know, your character just yet when you're a newer employee. So I just wanted to make sure I was doing things, you know, the right way, making a good impression with my company and my leader. So I thought that was kind of a good way to handle things. So for anybody who was like me, it was kind of looking for the right way to kind of go on maternity leave, I think you might find this video a little helpful. Go ahead and take these tips for what you want from it. I also did an Instagram post that I can link in the description box, kind of summarizing what I did. But this will work for any lawyer or professional that's going on parental leave. Should hopefully be able to find these tips helpful. Yeah, y'all, that's all I did. It's been a great ride. I highly suggest that if you have the option to take leave, absolutely do, you guys. That time with your baby is precious. They're only a newborn for a short 8 weeks, you guys, and those weeks go by so fast. My baby boy is 2.5 months at this point, and y'all, he's just not even the same baby he was several weeks ago. So with that, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any video suggestions in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.